The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
You hungry? Looking for a tempting treat? Hold on till I absorb some heat. Some added tang might please you too. I'll slide into an oven-fresh bun, and I'm ready for your eating fun.
Why don't you try a juicy good hot dog? Mmm, delicious.
You know what? There's something special about being at a track that existed, then didn't exist, and then it got a lot of love, showed back up, COVID showed us what it does, and yes, it says Coca-Cola Coke Series on the side, it's got a manual leaderboard, but as you can see on your screen, the legend lives on of North Wilkesboro, a track that has a great studded history. They used to run moonshine out of this track. This half-mile oval in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, has been home to some great racing, and even though there's an Echo Park restart zone, we're going to bring things on along and get it going strong. I want to welcome everybody in here to Triple Bypass Racing League on PTR TV. It's the race number 12 here of the Xfinity series. It's North Wilkesboro for 190 laps. It is the Rafter Snack Shack 190. It's going to be myself, Brad, here in the booth. I'll be joined shortly by Corey Silva.
Wait, did I make the whole thing?
Wait. Hold on. He's here quicker than I expected. Corey, sir, hello. How are you?
I'll just say my light speed jet from Myrtle Beach to here hit light speed, so I didn't expect to be here for the whole thing, but yeah, we were just here 3 nights ago, whatever it was, for some good Cup action. We went back in time to 1987 for the ARCA series, and again, looking forward to reactivating the time machine back to 2025 for some current day North Wilkesboro.
I know I said that you were gonna be here shortly. I didn't realize that we were like immediate, but that's fine. Points wise, we haven't covered this whole series here, Corey, but points wise right now, Jeremy Brown. Why do I feel like we've said that before? Jeremy Brown leading the points with Brad Kress in second, Caleb Brown in third, Daniel Williams, Mark Herzog, Ben Harcum, Dylan Freeman, Nicholas Deal, Al Corey, Matt Harmon, the 10 drivers running for the championship here, with Jeremy Brown having 3 wins throughout this Thursday night run. So, would we be wrong to say that Jeremy Brown is one that we should watch this week?
Well, Jeremy Brown, ultimately is just, I don't want to say anything that, kind of demeans anybody else, but I think he is probably the highest skilled driver from what we've seen. He's just someone who he can wheel every car, and as somebody is mutilating the motor coaches in the infield, this is the toughest car, power to weight ratio that we drive. So certainly I think he's going to be top of the pile. And Brett, I feel a little off right now. So just let me get together. You're on the wrong side of the booth right now, so my brain is having to catch up to that.
Yeah, it's this might be one of the few times here on PTR TV that I can think of that you and me have flip-flop positions, and one of us goes one way, one of us goes the other. Usually, you are the oval extraordinaire when it comes to production, but of course, when double duty is here on PTR TV, sometimes we pull some strings and make some things happen. So. Coming straight in from E-Car, completely shifting what you were doing as of 5 minutes ago. So yeah, we'll forgive Corey if he does anything or talks about, short track stuff, but we're at North Wilkesboro. It's a half-mile track. This is short track galore, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this track, I had a caution-free race at North Wilkesboro in our e-car series, which is always fun to have a caution-free race. But this place, the way that it drove Sunday, Brad, they were on the top of the racetrack primarily, as this place is kind of unintentionally progressively banked. So it will be interesting to see the difference between the Cup car and this Xfinity car. And again, more power, less wheel, less downforce. Be interesting to see what the differences are as we are wrapping up qualifying.
About 20 seconds left to go here in this qualifying timer. Nobody on track. Nerney and Donald Ristow both got meatball flags. Of course, we saw what Nerney was doing to the infield there, as him and the motorhomes very clearly don't get along. Race details here on the evening. 190 laps with a stage at lap 65. One stage coming lap 65 here for the Rafter Snack Shack 190. 3 sets of tires and 1 backup car. 10 incidents get you a drive-through penalty, and 16 incidents will be a DQ. And, well, Corey, we saw how that worked out Sunday, and I'm not sure how it worked out on Tuesday for you, but I have a feeling that it is going to work out pretty well here tonight as we go and kick off our PTR TV starting lineup. And I tell you what, Corey, I'll let you send this one forward.
And we got Brad Kress, who I always tout as the short track extraordinaire. With what is Al Corey doing up in P2? Well, he was quick on Sunday, backing it up here on Thursday. We got Ben Harcum in third, and Zach Nerney, Mr. Catboy, going to be in the 4th spot. Row number 3 consists of Jeremy Brown and then Mark Herzog. Again, he was pretty quick Sunday as well. We head back to 7th. We find Dan Williams and then Matt Harmon, the Virginia native out of Martinsville, in 8th. And then rounding out our top 10, we have Mr. Matt Epting. He has removed the Pokemon for Xfinity. And then Caleb Brown in 10th.
Moving on from there, we're going to go P11. It's tonight's race sponsor. We'll show him some love in a little bit. But Dominic Zanobi is here and about, with Nicholas Deal making a big deal of P12. Austin Williams, P13. Donald Ristow, Michael Seymour, and then the croc of Cameron Kane, P16. P17 on the night, Adam Shaw, and Naj Crutchley, who actually is not racing tonight. He came up and offered to jump in the booth with me right when the countdown was rolling, and I said, no, I think Corey will make it in good time, and, well, good time was had. So 17 cars taking on 190 laps here of North Wilkesboro. I don't have any keys to the race, Corey. I didn't come up with any. I'm just going to tell you right now, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I certainly agree and think it will be indeed, as Al Corey is. Do we have a ceremonial outside car here? We leave it in an invisible spot on the outside lane for second. There he goes, trying to close on in. Maybe he's just not used to being on the front row. Maybe that's what it is. But let's go and start today's race off. The Red Bull car of Brad Kress going to lead this thing through into the Echo Park restart box. Green, 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 racing Xfinity cars at the Wilkesboro.
And everybody getting away here in the background. I saw Michael Seymour going a little wild. Up front, it is Brad Kress, Al Corey, Zach Nerney, top 3. That is the 78 of Ben Harcum having a big wiggle. That whole outside lane getting stacked up behind him here as we continue along. Top 5 finding single file early days. Brad Kress leads lap 1.
Yeah, the 78 certainly struggled on the opening get-go there and having to recoup himself there, but Brad Kress has the big jump there. Al Corey in second. Not quite sure why Al was so late lagging back there on the outside, but still holding on to second. Again, Zach Nerney in third. Nerney, someone who we've been waiting for his first opportunity at an oval win, and highest he's been thus far that I can remember.
Yeah, he's running pretty good here today, and I'm trying to think. I know he's finished on the podium on a Sunday, but I haven't seen the win. Me and him, of course, talk pretty much every day, and one of the things we have talked about is, where's that win coming? Is it Sunday? Is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday? What day of the week here in Triple Bypass can you get a win? And I think qualifying up front is good, as he's going to send it down the inside on Al. He practiced this in practice on Al, I'll tell you that. And down the inside he goes around. Can he clear out of 4? He's not going to clear quite yet. He's almost clear of them. Let's see if he can clear through 1 and 2. Keep it there.
Caution.
Caution. Zanobi.
It's our sponsor. Waka, wampa, wampas, waka, waka.
And let's dial up a replay here and see what happened to Zenobi.
You done just lost it.
And just a solo spin right there in the middle of the track is looked like Michael Seymour just barely avoided him there. We'll dial up
So you know what happened, Brad? I'll tell you. Just like the Cranberries, I'm in his head because I roasted him about that caution on Sunday in the Cup race, and then he self-spins here. What's in his head? Corey. All right,
when you don't have to do production, you can really think of the jokes. Do I do the mean thing and point out that he's our race sponsor again?
So we appreciate his, fiscal and his fiscal his fiscal contribution and his, good deed towards the league, but that does not absolve you of roasting, as has since been described here on the channel.
See, and that's the thing with it, is we're going to roast because, well, we like Zenobi. So here's the thing. If you're roasted in Triple Bypass, if you're roasted on PTR TV, we like you, right? Like, that's the rule to it. It's the drivers that we never talk about that should be concerned. And to be frank, every driver on this grid we talk about at some point or another. So, yeah, we like all of you.
Joking is there's a saying here that it won't come exactly to my brain, but mockery is the number one sign of flattery or something on those lines. Basically, if you don't make fun of someone, that means you only make fun of the people you care about. Otherwise, you're ignorant. And we try not to be ignorant here. We're a lot of things, but we try not to be ignorant. So, again, I give Dylan Freeman, I give him a lot of flack. But again, it's all out of good deeds here, and again, appreciating everyone here in Triple Bypass, as we will probably get one to green. And Brad, I know we went over the race details, but this race very much in line with the Cup Series. So obviously ARCA kind of goes by its own cup of tea, but again, this is very much akin to a Cup race. So strategies, stages, all the lot.
Yeah, it's one of those, I saw a joke in the Discord earlier that this race was going to go as quick as Xfinity's internet speeds. Take with that what you will, depending on your opinion of Xfinity. But I like kind of where this Xfinity race is, and I'm going to make a controversial statement, as Nerney is slow on that outside line too, just like Al Corey was. Green flag's out, and Brad Kress, you got nobody around. Al Corey gets up into second, Nerney third there through, and Daniel Williams down low here in what I was going to say is my preferred car between the two.
And then the first side-by-side battle, as we see on screen right now, is that 35, that Dan Williams. Yeah, I like that one as well. The old Winn-Dixie Mark Martin car. That used to be the number 60 back in the day, in the 90s, in the heyday of the Busch Series as it was. And Jeremy Brown trying to make something happen, looking to the outside, but he has opened the door for Harcum, but Harcum will fall back in line. And I see a skosh further ahead, Brad. There goes the 46. Yep, there he is to the inside. But the inside is not an easy pass here at North Wilkesboro.
That it's not, and then Harcum's just kind of holding the nose there, but look at that. The 35 of Daniel Williams just going all the way to the high line there, riding the top, and comes mid through 3 and 4, but still we have that 46 going through as they continue along here. Top 3 starting to build a gap here, Corey, and the interesting thing about that is they're all running the high line through 1 and 2, and they're just kind of letting things work. Is the 35 and the 46, the more they run side by side, the more they're wearing out their tires, and the harder of a time they're going to have here is, now the 46 clears through, and now Ben Harcum is trying to get past Daniel Williams.
So Dan Williams not heading the correct direction, and I don't know if you brought it up in pre-race, Brad, but I'll bring it up for anybody who's joined late. But the little P's denoted on the ticker, that is a side effect of the Sunday series. There is no playoff structure here in the Xfinity series. I can see in the driver chat, which I never get to see, but now I get to see it. They're all kind of denoting that they have big P's. So, but you can ignore them. Again, that is a little relic from Sundays. But Brad Kress pulling away by 6, almost 7 tenths of a second. Al Corey still in that second spot. We got Nerney in third. And again, as you said, let's bring up our battle tracker. very, very tight lap times here. And when they're tight on the lap times, that makes it hard to pass.
That it does. And right now, I mean, Brad Kress running away here. We'll look at the 3 cars on the bottom right. And I mean, just comparing lap times, Nerney's the fastest of the 3 of them right now on the last lap. So even best lap, fresh tires going through, Brad Kress is a little bit faster, but looking at the last laps as these times come through, Nerney is running faster, as Nerney is going to go for that pass down the inside. Can he make it stick? Let's see here as he goes through and clears with ease, I'd say.
Yep, there he goes. And I would assume, there's knowing Al as we do, that may have been intentional to, Al races like the old soul, and a lot of times they'll say, all right, you go ahead, I'll get you later. Sometimes that's what the older souls in the racing world do, and never mind. Mark Herzog, he ran well on Sunday, but not starting off today in the way he'd desire.
Let's see what happened here. Pull up our PTR TV replay for this caution, and it actually happened ahead of him there. That is Epting, I believe, that took a little bit of contact. We'll dial that up in one more little look and see what actually happened. And it does look like, just kind of off firsthand, that it was indeed Epting who started this, going with Austin Williams. So there's the contact there. And then the 17 hit Herzog. And unfortunately for Herzog, when Caleb Brown hit him there in the rear, it was kind of game over.
Yep. And that will shouldn't be too bad for Herzog. And just a little kiss to that inside wall there. You can see just one more look at it, and down to the inside. And again, they have the backup car either way, but the point more so than the damage, Brad, is, again, every little incident is going to get tallied up here. 10 gets you a penalty, 16 gets you the boot. So it does get concerning every time you have a little issue.
Yeah, and when you're thinking about that too, it's very scary as a driver, because the thing that I always forget, Corey, thinking about this, because I'm not going to act like I'm the best driver on iRacing, or that I'm racing 7 nights a week like these guys do. But the thing you have to remember is the fact that, any car contact, the sim doesn't know whose fault it is. It hits it and says, okay, you had a contact, you get a 2X, you get a 4X, whatever it is. It doesn't look at whose fault it was. So, for Herzog in that moment, that could have been a 6X right there. That could have been 4X for car contact and then loss of control for 2. We don't really have a good way to know, but if that's the case, he's over halfway to a drive-through already.
Yeah, and the reasoning behind that, the no-fault system, it's very much akin to, a damage system. I know you obviously being an insurance guy, Brad, it's not exactly the same because you do determine fault, but in the racing world, if somebody wrecks you, they don't pay for their bill. They don't pay for the bill for you. You pay for the wreck, regardless of who caused it, and that's kind of how the incident system tracks things here on the iRacing service. But we'll head through 3 and 4 here into that Echo Park restart box. Nerney to the outside, and he is certainly closer to Kress, trying to get the jump, won't be able to do it. Falls back in line. Let's drive off into 1.
And behind him, Al Corey fighting on the inside of Jeremy Brown there. Mr. 3-time, we'll call him for now, is Jeremy Brown's going to send outside to inside through 3 and 4, see if he can get past Al Corey with Harkham there in the mix. And Nerney, I tell you what, he's on a charge tonight here in P2, trying to find his way through, and a little bit of a tap of the wall there for Daniel Williams. And he takes that 35, hits the wall there through the front stretch. Al Corey runs wide, and tell you what, here on the restart, it seems like it takes these guys about a lap to settle in.
Now, this is also a heat cycle on the tires, too. Another heat cycle, obviously, with another caution. So the car handling does decay a little bit more after each go and stop. So kind of getting acclimated to that here. Lap number 25. But that's going to be the 72 of Austin Williams, a name that I don't recall hearing in the league. So he must be either new or just an Xfinity native. But he is now clear. And just behind that, Matt Harmon. Let's go back all the way to the back of the field, and you can see Zanobi still on the struggle bus there in the number 30. He maintains control, but I saw him ultra slideways. And Michael Seymour, them two battling for the caboose.
Yeah, the reason I jumped back here, to be honest with you, is because I saw 3 wide hit, and Sometimes 3 wide is good, sometimes 3 wide is terrifying, and I'll be honest with you, regardless of what position you're in, when you're running 3 wide, it's a little bit terrifying going through. Al Corey, Jeremy Brown are still battling it out up here, Corey, looking around, and I mean, these guys are really just, seem like they're giving it a good run and keeping things going. Another good battle
to Adam Shaw.
Oh, what has happened?
Adam Shaw he's living up to his name. I've got him to change his name to Highline, and through 3 and 4 on the last lap, he basically chastained it, whether intentional or not. Yep, there he goes. He's pulling his chastain off.
Yeah, I don't think it's as intentional as he might want you to believe it is. He might tell you it's intentional, but it definitely, watch that wheel work here down on the left-hand side, and we'll actually grab a better angle, well, a worse angle to see it, a better angle to see it. Watch him work this wheel.
Yeah, he is. Now, I'm outdated. I'm kind of the DW when it comes to my knowledge of driving the cars, but I think my Xfinity knowledge is more accurate than, say, my next-gen knowledge, because this car hasn't changed as much over the years. But traditionally, you don't want to put that much wheel into it. You want to drive the car with the throttle, not with the steering wheel. So he is doing a Soldier Boy as much as he's cranking that, so he's probably going to burn the tires off and start to struggle more over the rest of the run.
Mark Herzog here getting down the inside of Cameron Kane with that damage to the back bumper, as you can see. And Corey, I got a little bit of fun info pre-race that a fuel run is like 150 laps. So in theory, after lap 40, even with a stage, if these guys pit, if the tires would survive it, they don't have to pit for fuel again. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm just telling you the info I got. So you can fact check me on that.
Makes sense from what we witnessed on Sunday. We witnessed a situation where drivers allegedly could have went from lap, what was it, the stage of 65 till... Actually, no, we have a different fuel load in this car for Xfinity. So...
Yeah, I think we're 100% fuel load here, whereas Cup is 55%.
Yeah, so yeah, I would be... It makes perfect sense to me. Making it to the end of the race after the stage should be pretty easy. Again, we have 3 sets of tires, so we'll be fighting and hanging on for them for about 30 more laps. And just as a little indication, we've already dropped off about 0.6 of a second on the stopwatch as Herzog, again, after that incident, trying to work through the field. Epting to the outside, maybe kissing the safer barrier there. And who's that just behind? That is Caleb Brown in that... Again, getting used to these Xfinity paint schemes. We've gotten so used to even the ARCA ones and, of course, the Cup ones that I'm looking for a Polaroid car when I think of Caleb Brown here, but bright green, bright teal, whatever you want to call that paint scheme here at the Xfinity car.
We're just doing everything backwards tonight. I'm producing. You're on the other side. We're doing Xfinity cars. Everything's backwards. Oh, tap of the wall there from Epting as he goes through. Yeah, we're mixing things up on a Thursday night. Don't worry.
What?
Next Thursday, I think we're back. Or no, what is next? Are we back to regular programming next Thursday?
Negative.
Okay, so next Thursday, it's still shaking up.
What is the 37 car? What is Cam Kane now? Is that like a green golf ball? Is that an avocado? It's a croc. Come on now. Oh, Crocs. LOL, now I get it.
Yeah, he's even got it in sport mode. Look, the strap across the back. Come on now.
Okay, I wasn't looking at it in that level of detail, but I mean, avocados don't have black seeds. They actually don't have seeds because isn't the big ball in the middle of the seed? I don't know. Clearly, you could tell how many avocados I like to have, but looking up to Brad Kress, who is driving a pretty good race right now, upwards of 0.8 up, but look at the lap times there. Basically, Nerney is matching him, but he can't just match him if he wants to eat into that gap.
See, here's the problem is Jeremy Brown is faster than both of them. So whatever Jeremy Brown has done to turn the pressure up, I mean, he's doing a good job here. Watch him as he goes through. He's slowly gaining things in. We'll pull up the battle between Nerney and Brown because, of course, if Jeremy Brown wants to go against Brad Kress, who's number 2 in points right now, then Jeremy Brown has to get past Nerney first. So let's see what he can do. Still 21-1 to a 21-0. I mean, he's gaining a 10th a lap, but I feel like I say this a lot. It's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, and maybe he can just ride to the stage. We'll see. And the answer is a resounding no. Look at that, trying to send it up the inside.
Yeah, the inside here not advantageous, and a big slideways maneuver off turn number 4, trying to get the power down. Remember, these Xfinity cars do have, I believe, an equal to or maybe slightly more horsepower than the Cup cars, but what they don't have is as much wheel. There's less rubber hitting the road. So when you have a good amount of power and not a lot of rubber road contact, it is a lot harder, a lot less downforce here. So that makes them a lot more difficult, and get the power down like that, it's going to get you slideways, as Jeremy did there.
Yeah, and it just takes one moment of a little too much power to really, really mix things up and make things problematic and kind of make the back become the front. Austin Williams down the inside of Ben Harkham here, as we're going to shake up the Dr. Pepper, and I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper, the best Dr. Pepper, I'll say. And you see there going through, and well, Harkham shaking the can up, sending it back a position. Austin Williams making his way forward with Daniel Williams next. Austin Williams, Daniel Williams, are they related?
I'm going to assume no, but we also had an inquiry the other day if Jeremy Brown and Caleb Brown were related. So questions here of significant nature, but if we jump back up to second, Mr. Brad, we do have Jeremy making another stab at it. You can see he's just getting dead slideways on corner exit. That inside lane is just not the place to be, but I mean, you got to go where they ain't, and if that's all Nerdy's going to give you, he's going to have to find a way to make it work. Maybe he should stay right in his tire tracks, try to get a run, and then slide job him. That's what I would try to do, but who's to say that would work?
He's definitely giving it the old college try here. The thing, again, you got to watch is just that exit, and Nerney's just, I mean, smooth as butter up top. He's not really doing anything wild. And now Jeremy Brown here through 3 and 4 is going to get, I think, the best run he's had. He doesn't wiggle this time, so side by side, him and Nerney, see how they go into 1 and 2. A little bit high here. Nerney runs it all the way up. They kind of diamond the corner a little bit there. And coming out of 2, still side by side, I have a feeling this is going to go on for a moment, as nobody wants to give it up. But through 3 and 4, it seems like the inside line's better.
And I'm just, obviously I kind of got to the party late here, Brett. I'm sure you probably went over the weather, or maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But this track temp is like a Quiznos sub, because it is toasty. 119-degree track temp here, racing dead middle of the afternoon. In May, mind you. This race is based out of May. So this is the most difficult track conditions that I think you can basically acquire here at North Wilkesboro. So again, this is a great job. Obviously a few quick cautions, but we have raced pretty cleanly and pretty smoothly here. Again, about 15 laps to go till our stage.
Yeah, and that stage coming up is going to be a nice reprieve for everyone. I'm sure everybody is going to take a fresh set of tires. I would imagine that Herzog will take his fast repair and fix that back end damage he has. It seems like right now that's really where everyone's trying to get, is Caleb Brown, Matt Harmon going side by side here. Down the inside, Caleb Brown goes, holding that position there of P9 as they go through. Cameron Kane back behind that, trying to go around Herzog, who has that rear bumper damage. I don't think it's really affecting the car too bad from the look there. And as I say, Herzog sends it down low there and gets a little wiggle. Cameron Kane going to work his way around the outside, and I believe he will clear here if he can hold on to it through 3 and 4.
Through 3 and 4, again, that inside lane versus the outside lane. And whoa, that croc, you said it was in sport mode. That croc was in slip mode there. Maybe the rubber on the bottom a little wore out there. So that got a little sideways move, but Herzog has just completely fallen the pace off there, and will retort that spot. On the other live battle here, we do have Zenobi back in 15th, battling with Epting. Protect your melon. Buckle up. That is, I'm assuming, a seatbelt related inquiry there on the number 18 car. Tried to make a move, but again, just nobody has the traction. Nobody has the confidence to power down from the inside lane. Yeah,
I mean, at this point, lap 55 on a run on tires, I don't think anyone has taken tires at this point or really done anything. I know a couple guys have been in the pits, but I think that was for damage repairs. Hitting squirrely there and then going down on the inside in turn one like he meant to do it. That's the best thing I've seen, and we've seen several people do that. You get that wiggle in the middle of the front stretch and just aim it to the inside of turn one and say, all right, I meant to do that. It's fine. 10 laps to the stage here, Corey, and Epting gets a little wiggle again. Up front, 2.3 seconds, and yes, the camera went to the left a little bit, and there's Brad Kress. He's about to lap Epting just on pace alone here.
Yep, in just 60 laps, the lap times have fallen off over a second. We're down about maybe 1.2-ish for Kress, and that variant is for him as the best car here on the racetrack. I mean, I'm looking at some other drivers on the back end. They're down 1.4, 1.5 seconds. So certainly one of the biggest tire fall-offs we've witnessed in quite some time. But here is Dan Williams, who, knock on my particle board desk here, probably having one of the best runs on pace I've seen him have in a broadcasted event. Hopefully that can continue, and holding off Harcum and holding off the Cheez-It Mobile. That's a Nicholas Deal. Nicholas Deal will clear for that, what is 7th spot.
Good move there through for him, as I see Austin Williams getting past Nerney. I got to wonder, did Nerney just have a little bit of a wiggle there and kind of catch himself off guard? As Al Corey is also kind of now dropped off, so something's clearly happened here in the last minute.
There was contact, Brad. If there was actually, you may have a trigger for it, but there you go. Oh wait, no, that's not what I was expecting. But so that is Al Corey going in demo mode, because yeah, but that will be a caution. So I wondered what happened to Nerney. It was actually contact off of Al Corey's bumper, and then Al Corey having that incident. There we go.
So that's Nerney and Corey coming together, and both of them getting loose through. That is when Williams got through, and
Al
then
got the worst of that one, actually.
And then this was Al coming back on track into the mix, and well, he's getting back going. He's getting back going. He's coming through. He's holding on to it. And then unfortunately for him, Dan Williams there to the outside. And I have a feeling that Al might have been carrying some damage there from that contact. Or no, Williams actually got on the wall and bounced down.
Yeah, when he got off the wall, it kind of projectiled him down the track, which, if Al's not there, that's actually a good thing. iRacing actually kind of, that's called the old, people do that at Bristol all the time. They hit the wall because it gets them a better corner exit. So the only reason that didn't work out favorably was because Al being there. So, but we're under caution. This should most likely encompass the stage, unless we happen to go green at lap 65. But I imagine this will encompass the stage. Herzog staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, Herzog stays on, and everyone else is in. He is the only car who stayed out.
Why? So wait, Brad Kress must have pit the lap after everybody, because he is just now getting service.
He did. He stayed out an extra lap.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what that would have been. Again, it could be something tied into the stage. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe the caution came out in a way where he didn't know if the pits were open yet. But as you can see, just look at that number 9. He has a 0. He has a lower number than everybody else. That implies that he pitted a lap later, which is why he's so far down the running order.
Yeah, that's a weird one. There has to be some strategy, some reason, something in there. As we were 1 to green, and it looks like we've extended it, so this does encompass the stage, which, can't believe I'm saying this, but that means that Mark Herzog will take our stage win here.
Now, they do, I don't know if we've read the rules, Al. Al, I just called you Al. I don't think I've ever called you that one before. Did you say ill? If the stage is when the stage is encompassed by a caution, does the stage points get awarded at the caution lap or during the caution? That would be my question, but I don't know that answer.
That is a good question. I don't have an answer. Pace car is going to pull in here, so we're going to get an answer at least. So it looks like, I would imagine stage was included unless they're having the pace car pull in as like a formality. Let's see what happens here as we'll come around.
Top here.
Herzog, great launch there. Him and Matt Harmon both.
Yeah, Herzog used the top of the racetrack, and I mean, those 60-some-odd lap tires are not going to be having fun here. Getting swallowed up. Now, Jeremy Brown, our points leader, our dominator on the season, 5th to 1st. And now you'll have everybody else funneling by. And this makes you wonder, Brad, what's that strategy by Herzog? There's 3 sets of tires on the wall, so we're not really at a tire shortage here today. And if this race magically goes green, I mean, he's going to go a lap down and before he even has to make a pit stop on those old tires.
So I was going to say he could have a great mastermind strategy here. The problem is I don't know it. Brad Crest down the inside goes past. Harkham's going to follow through. So Herzog is, I mean, one of two things could be happening here. It could have been he just decided he didn't want to pit and he's running this through. He knows he has fuel and he's gauging himself to a fuel run. And he's expecting something later in the race. Option number 2 is genuinely just he's rolling the dice to see what happens. Either way, it's a decision, and he's kind of stuck with it now as he has now dropped all the way outside of the top 10 in just 4 laps.
Yeah, because he'll be just the fact that he's going to be running a second a lap slower. By lap 100, he's going to be a lap down on pure pace, and then he still has to make a pit stop. So just don't get it, but, you know, we just call what we see. We don't have to understand it. But everybody up front, single file. Jeremy Brown leading things through by about a half a second. Al Corey in third. We do have a gaggle going on in the middle of the pack right now as everyone's trying to get by. I saw Nerney trying to get by the 36. He was trying to get by the 57. Here comes Caleb Brown, 25 car. Donald Risteau. I haven't said that name once here today. He's trying to get by in the, what is that, a Dollar General car, used to it being a coffee car of sorts.
Oh, Herzog with a big wiggle there on the corner exit. He now drops behind Michael Seymour. Herzog now the last car on the lead lap as he goes through, and he got that slide there on the corner exit. He's still sliding on exit. Those tires have to be screaming right now, but he is still sticking to it. He's committed to the bit. I'd be curious to know what his strategy is, but I'm sure we'll find out later. He'll probably tell us in Discord after the race what he was trying, because he's very clearly got something on the mind.
Or maybe he just forgot. You never know. But otherwise, on the raceway, here comes the 92 car. I guess the Speedway. This place is owned by ISC. Nichols Deal getting to the inside of Matt Harmon, who's had a quiet run here today. Matt Harmon. Again, every time Matt Harmon sponsors a race, it essentially explodes on him. So he is enjoying the fact that there's no pressure on him today and cruising around there in the 9th spot. The Croc-mobile, not the Avocado or whatever else I said. Cam Kane rolling on through in the 7th spot. And everyone kind of in their own little groove right now, other than Nerney there making a dive. Everybody else kind of separated by a few tenths, just kind of chugging laps and cruising on through.
Yeah, I mean, just keeping that smooth, consistent run here is really what's going to be key as we go through. Nerney coming right on the back of Harmon. A little bit of contact there, and Harmon's going to run wide through. Nerney loses some momentum. I don't know if that was intentional in any way. I have a feeling that was a difference in pace, and Nerney clears through on Harmon. Dial up a replay of that one.
Got it queued up here on the PTR TV replay. Zach Nerney and Harmon here off turn number 2. Whoa! Again, this same kind of thing we saw on the front straightaway before. You think you're clear and you're not, as we are under caution. And I believe it may be Clifford.
Oh, not the big red dog of Adam Shaw. Adam Shaw's got a black flag in his in.
It's nothing obvious, Brad. Luckily, I'm here that I will try to do a little. No, it is Epting, Mr. Epting in turn 3 and 4.
Let's see. Was it this?
Should be.
And
just sent it.
Oh, and he got a little bit of love there from Dollar General and Michael Seymour.
Yeah. He just pulled off his Adele, and he was a little in too deep there in turn number 3 and went around.
Not ideal for him. He'll pick up something there. Now Herzog pits. There we go.
He got saved. Saved by the melon.
Saved by Barney.
Be a pit stop again with 3 sets on the wall. Most everyone has utilized 1. Those sets are quite valuable. You'll want to keep 1 for a late race caution, so wouldn't burn 1 here. Obviously, Herzog still has all of his he has all of his tires availed to him, so he has no issue in burning 1, but the only other one to burn 1 is Epting, so that might be a difficult call later in the race. He only has 1 left to play with.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting decision there for him to decide when he wants to pit, when he doesn't. I can tell you right now, Adam Shaw picked up a black flag as well just before that caution came out. So Shaw is 6 laps down, and he actually looks like he may have taken it to the garage. He might be our first DNF here of the race as he is through. I know I saw him with a black flag and stopped in the pits. Not sure if that was his DQ or what that might have been here. But he is, yeah, he's taking it behind the wall. So something's happened for Shaw.
Yeah, I'll see if I can do a little bit of recon there. But indeed, we won't have anybody to watch for rim riding here unless somebody wants to take that crown from him in the number 55. But we'll get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing here. We got Austin Williams going to be in the 2nd spot. He started the race in the 13th spot, so we'll see what happens with him on the front row. I don't know what kind of pace he has in clean air, but I guess we'll find out together here. Pace car pulls into the pits, turn 3 and 4. And Jeremy Brown, Diecast Fans Chevrolet. I'm a Diecast fan myself. Coming through 4, Echo Park restart box. Let's get going.
And going down into 1 and 2. Big hit of the wall there from Caleb Brown already. That's going to stack the high line up. Brad Kress trying to get by Al Corey as Austin Williams just tries to hold the outside. Jeremy Brown got a great restart there, you have to say, as Corey and Williams hold it side by side. Watch out for good old scary Brad Kress, though, that number 9 who led a large chunk of the early stage of this race. He's going to be looking to go through we're stacked up 3 wide going through 1 and 2.
3 wide at North Wilkesboro. Whoever said that was a good idea, not me, but they managed to pull it off here. Kress to the inside of the 72 of Williams, who has not persevered from that 2nd starting spot on the restart. Al Corey in 2nd, but again, that inside lane, very, very difficult here at North Wilkesboro. Very flat and very slick, so if you can pull it off, that shows the steam you have. But just as I say that, 72 drove it in deep, nearly got into Al way up the racetrack here, and allows the 9 to clear.
And don't speak too fast, though. 72 going to fight it back from the outside against Brad. And let's see here what happens as one Mr. Austin Williams would like to get back up where he was going through side by side, holding on to it. A little bit of a slide coming through, and he's giving it, I don't even want to call this a college try. This feels like trying to win an NFL game here as he's going through around and still holding it side by side, not letting Al Corey gain anything. And back in the background, Cameron Kane's getting beat up on here by Nerney and Deal. This is just not stopping. Pick a place on the field and look. And Williams now dropping back here as Kress clears, and now it's Caleb Brown trying to get through.
Yeah, Caleb Brown trying to get through indeed in that number 17, and will do so successfully. Opens the door for Harcum. As again, Austin Williams, I talked about Adele. Now we'll go into our Alicia Keys joke. He's in Alicia Keys mode. He keeps on falling here. But again, that outside lane will allow him to play a solid level of defense.
And I think a solid level of defense is really just what he needs to hold on to right now. He doesn't want to drop too many positions. I mean, he just needs to go through. And what I worry has happened for him, honestly, is he might have just overcooked his tires at this point, as he's now dropped another position to Harkham. It seems like 3 and 4 are just a struggle. Cameron Kane scuffing up the Crocs on the outside as Nerney tries to go down the inside. And Zach Nerney will clear there. Just barely, maybe, not really. Hard on the brakes. And keeping it going here, as I'll tell you right now, Brad Kress is getting really close to the back of Al Corey here. So we're getting ready to have a battle for P2 brewing here in just a moment, as Nerney late send up the inside, trying to get past Cameron Kane still.
Cam Kane, again, that Croc is putting on a good battle, 36 versus 37 here. If only it was, if only Cam Kane added 30 to his number, Brad, and we would have the Ultimeme car here. Maybe he can do that next season. No.
Skibbity toilet. That's all I got. All right. Well,
6-7. Sorry, I just wanted to do it at least once in a broadcast.
You've done it once in a broadcast.
Oh, yeah, I did. But I did it one more again here. 36 car. First up. Oh, actually, no. More so than that. Let's go and go higher up on the podium, as Brad will get second, getting by Mr. Al Corey. Now he'll set his sights. This will be the big thing to watch, Brad. Once he gets into clean real estate, we'll take a look at the times. Let's see what it is. This lap won't count so much because he was in a pass, but let's see. Clean track. Who's the faster driver?
I want to point out that Jeremy Brown has the Big Show above his name, which means he is ready to put on a good battle, but I'm going to say Brad Kress also looks like the Big Show a little bit. So I think we're about to have a battle of the Titans here in the Xfinity Series as they go through. Let's see where the lap times check as they come around. 8.83 to an 8.77. I mean, they're basically neck and neck right now. The big thing they're going to have to watch is just sort of not burning the tires as caution is out, and I have a feeling it was Herzog.
Cue up the good old play of Rees here. Let's see what happened to the number 57. Oh, he done got...
Oh, he got sent.
Yeah. Cheez-It was
even
on a mission here. Or, I guess, was Cheez-It on a mission, or was Herzog oddly slow? I guess that would be the interesting answer to situate.
Trying to dial it up here for the Cheez-It and see if we can see the Cheez-It, and nothing's cooperating with me, so that's always good. So we're going to ride on board with Michael Seymour, because he avoided this wreck really well.
Well, that was the part 2 of the wreck. I'm doing a little recon here since you're having the issue with the 92 to see if it looks... I don't have an answer. I looked at it twice. I don't have an answer because, I have not driven this track in this car, so I don't know what the break points here. But either way, an unfortunate turn of events here adds to the incident counter for all involved. Interestingly enough, we do have some pit stops, as you can see there on the ticker, and some notable names. Nerney in, Deal in, which makes sense, as he was in a caution. But that number 36, again, this could be, Brad, one of those pivotal cautions. You'd never know when it's going to run green. And having better tires, 35 lap better tires at a track like this, that is a good thing to have in the bank.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I'm curious to just kind of look. So we're going to pull up the stints here on the side. So Brown didn't pit. Kress has 1 lap newer tires, which is hilarious to me. Al Corey, Ben Harkham, Cameron Kane, Matt Harmon, of course, pit during the last caution. And then Herzog, Brown, Nerney, all just pit in. So those 3 have brand new tires. We would assume brand new tires, but Herzog only had a 30-second pit stop. So I'm going to say he took 2 tires if I have to make a educated guess on my experience here. Or no, would that be fuel only? Hold on. Because I think Matt... I don't know, Corey. You could extrapolate numbers better than me. Did Herzog do... Herzog only had a 30-second pit stop.
1.2 second box time. So that was probably a fast repair for Herzog.
Well, Herzog is the only person other than Epting that's used a fast repair, and we've got the Titans up front, Crest and Brown waits real late. Al Corey almost hits the back of him. We go back green flag racing here because these caution laps are quick at North Wilkesboro. And now here, let's see who wants to stop at a Rafter Snack Shack. Who's trying to get a hot dog tonight?
Oh, speaking of which, Brad, don't forget about that little fun thing that we have to showcase later on, but Snack Shack, indeed. Martinsville known for the hot dogs, but Rafter, what are they, expired Costco dogs I think we had in prior conversation. But here comes Ben Harcum. Dr. Pepper looking to the outside. Al left the lane open, and I don't know if Ben will be able to fill it, but will Al play defense and take the line? Yes, he will. Left the door open, got away with it, though.
Plenty of good battles going on here on the restart. Look behind them. You've got 2x2x2x2 starting out with Herzog and Nerney as they have those fresh tires. They're going to try to make those tires work. Nerney now up the inside of Cameron Kane coming around there, and he'll try to get himself a Dr. Pepper float next. See if he can send it around the inside and get his way through. And yeah, we played the fun thing at the top of the broadcast. I'll bring it back in a little bit later, though, depending on how this race goes. But this race has been pretty clean, pretty fun so far as these guys are pushing it here to the end. Let's see what happens as Nerney's now up P4. Will he get P3 here around Al Corey? Last time these two were near each other, we had a caution.
I did get told to roast Al Corey and his Dallas Stars. That is per Dominic Zanobi had to leave and take care of the kids, so that means he's going to come back and throw out a late race caution if Sunday is any indication. But again, that's our race sponsor. In all seriousness, Dominic just had a little one not too long ago, so congrats go to him, and I know he was going through a difficult family situation there. So again, all thoughts to him, but we do have to roast everyone for what they do, which blah, blah, blah. But Nerney on screen dropping back. Actually not dropping back. He's working his way up on those fresh tires.
Yeah, he's working his way up. Fresh tires. This is a 35 lap tire difference that we're seeing. And unfortunately for Brad Kress, it's going to spell a problem here. Nerney has definitely timed something right, is at least what it looks like on lap 106. Come back to me on lap 191 and we'll talk about it if I'm right or wrong.
Because again, Brad, as he goes to the outside, this is an if, and this is a humongous if, and I'm not going to do Charles Barkley and guarantee anything, but if this goes green, Nerney wins the race by a sizable margin. And if a caution comes out, he still does have one more set of tires to play with. So what Nerney is hoping doesn't happen is we get a caution like now, as here he comes for the race lead, and he'll get it with relative ease, even from the inside. Nerney's worst case scenario is we get a caution now and then a late caution, because he has to pick which one to suffer through. But if we only have a caution late, he's also okay. So I am really saying that was a great call by him on that last caution.
I agree completely here, and it's gotten him up into the lead. And, well, now he just needs to do what we watched Brad Kress do for about the first 50 laps of this race and say adios, sayonara, so long, farewell, adieu, whatever you want to call it, as Caleb Brown on fresh tires as well is now trying to get past Jeremy Brown and Brad Kress, who are starting to battle here for second and third. And Caleb Brown says, hey, guys, I've got better tires, and y'all are just in my way. I'd like to have a go at Nerney here. Get out of the way as they continue through. Kress and Jeremy going side by side, and Caleb Brown is going to force the issue. He thought about taking it 3 wide. He doesn't, but these two holding side by side is just holding him up and hurting those new tires he's got.
Yeah, you can see it on that hood of the car. It says DBX. It means don't be... Never mind. I can't come up with an acronym that has the letter X in it because there's only about 8 words in the English language. But here he goes to the inside of Jeremy Brown, again the points leader and probably the fastest car here, depending on what sequence it is with Brad Kress. But looking to the inside, trying to break up that duo of drivers, and now he'll go 2 for 1. Bob's your uncle. Fresh tires, Caleb Brown to the inside. Maybe a lap or 2, he'll be able to clear, but Nerney already up by 2 seconds since this battle has occurred.
Yeah, Nerney's officially checked out. He's got he'd listen to Taylor Swift. I feel like Nerney would be a Taylor Swift kind of person. He's probably got the Fate of Ophelia playing in his AirPods, whatever he's got, and he's just sitting there bopping around driving, not a care in the world, which is what he needs right now. And again, we said it earlier, he needs this race to run green to the end. He needs Caleb Brown to keep being held up right now by Cress and Jeremy Brown, but Caleb Brown now cleared, but 2.2 seconds the gap. How long will it stay that way? Will it open? Will it close? Who has burned up their tires? Who saved a little bit here in the run? Because the only other drivers that have tires similar is going to be Nicholas Deal, who is back here relegated P6, kind of holding where he's at right now. Pace-wise, he's doing pretty good. He ran a 20.9 last lap, but, I mean, Nerney's running a 20.8, so Zach has clearly done something up front.
I will say Opalite is my favorite song on the album. Kind of not quite a single yet, but it has been on the radio. But just had to sprinkle that in. One thing I do wonder, Brad, and this is something that could happen on pace, not sure, but there comes a point where old tires will equalize out to new tires. We know that Cress and Brown are the fastest cars here on pace. Is there a chance that the newness on Ernie's tires goes away, and then even though his tires are better than Cress and company, that he somehow loses his lead on an ultra long run? I'm trying to think if that's even possible, because that would be the only saving grace they have without a caution.
So you're thinking of some like logarithmic like graph of tire wear, and it's possible, but I think we'd have to have a really long green flag run.
I mean, last time by, if you switch over our lap times, Mr. Brad, on our tower here, well, that was a bad example because last time by it was a lot closer, but that time by they were 2/10 up. But the time prior to that, Cress was only a half of a hundredth off of Nerney. Let's see what it is this time by as lap times refresh in 04. There goes Caleb Brown fastest. So we're at about maybe a tenth and a half. That's not a huge margin, and it was a lot more at the beginning of the run. So it is starting to equalize.
I think Nerney might be having to manage at this point. I think he's built a little bit of a gap, and now he's trying to just manage it through because he's got 70 laps that he needs to lead to get to the end.
2 1,000s, basically a dead draw between him and Cress. So again, is that saving, or is the tires equalizing and now the talent coming out? As you have to imagine, Cress's tires have probably just hit their maximum.
Jeremy Brown dropping a position here to Nicholas Deal. Nicholas Deal pitting the same time as Nerney and Brown here. So Jeremy Brown losing that position out. I don't really know where we're at, but I can tell you right now, Cress and Brown and Corey, who have been up front a good chunk of this race, they're on 60-lap-old tires here. So, depending on how severe the tire wear is here, Corey, it could be hitting a position. Are they going to have to think about green flag pit stops, or is the tire wear, what are they willing to risk here?
A pit lane sequence here is about 50 seconds, so that is about 2.5 laps you'll lose. Are you going to gain 2.5 laps back up in 60 laps? You'll gain. Actually, you will.
Yeah,
you gain a second a lap, but it would be close. I don't know. I'm not willing to take the risk. Well, I can't take the risk because I'm not driving, but it's plausible. As here comes Herzog trying to make a run under Al, but that won't come to fruition. So it's interesting to see as we'll watch the rest of this race play out. Again, Dominic Zanobi, our race sponsor, out of the race due to father-like responsibilities. So kudos for him. And if you like what you see, again, we'll be covering the next 2 Xfinity races to wrap up their Season 9 campaign at the Dover Speedway next week. And then post-Thanksgiving, first week of December, believe it or not, 2025 is almost over. We'll round things out at the Phoenix Raceway here for the TBP Xfinity, or soon to be O'Reilly. I don't know which one's legally correct series.
I know they cracked some jokes in the Discord about it. I don't know which one they went with officially or what they're calling it at this point. Down the inside goes Matt Harmon trying to get a pass on Cameron Kane here. Lap 128 or 127 of 190. Why'd I read a 7 as an 8? Doesn't matter because we're looking at the 28 who's trying to go up the inside here and make his pass on the 37, not 6'7", 37, and 369. He is very fine to the outside. 28. Up into P8.
Yep, but he is not getting low. He is running close to the wall. That's about as far as I can take that reference there. As Cameron Kane falls further down through the field, and you're not going to believe this. You're not, but it's the honest truth. I was going to say Harmon is having a really clean race, which he needs, and 30 seconds after that thought entered my brain and I was uttering whether or not to say it, he put it in the fence.
Isn't that how that usually happens, though, is you're getting ready to say something very positive about a driver and then something comes up? I feel like that is just how that has to go. I feel like if you don't have that happen in that order, it's a whole nother problem. Nicholas Steele here trying to catch up to Brad Kress, P4 to P3, and he has the 35-lap tire advantage here. Big thing, though, is the pace. I mean, he's only running about half a tenth or so faster a lap than Brad Kress, which it's enough to catch, but how's that passing going to go for him is my big question.
And to answer the questions that we had earlier, Brad, about again, Nicholas Deal there doing a great job. I was looking at the gap a little while ago, and Brad Kress was about 3 seconds back, and I don't know, maybe it's been 5, 6, 7 laps, somewhere in that ballpark. Brad Kress now down 5 seconds. So, again, a tenth or two a lap, a bad lap here, a bad lap there. I don't see Kress getting this race done. Now, right, a lot of times we talk about the ARCA series, and somehow it how it sometimes turns into a lottery of when do you take that set of tires, when do you guess right on when the final caution is going to be. You can't really say that about this. I mean, everyone had the same opportunity that Nerney had to put the set of tires on, and very few others did besides Caleb Brown. So, again, this race might turn into a pit stop lottery, but, again, everyone had the same opportunity.
Yeah, and that's one of those, you weigh the pros and cons in the seat, and do you have somebody racing with you? Do you have, a spotter or a crew chief, somebody you can bounce the idea off of? Are you willing to sort of gamble it here or there? Do you want to lean on Lady Luck and think that you're going to get kind of a late race opportunity to get things going? I mean, are your palms sweaty, or your knees weak, or the arms heavy? Did you eat mom's spaghetti for dinner? And I mean, at this point, Nerney obviously calculated it out right. Lady Luck's on his side right now, but we're only lap 136 and 190. There's still plenty of time in this race. And, well, it's not over till Barney throws the checkered flag, and I sing. So I'm not going to sing, but Barney will throw a checkered flag. Al Corey here running a bit high through turn 4. He's trying to chase down Herzog. And at this point, these guys are kind of just really stabilized into lap runs because a majority of this field is on 75 lap old tires.
Yeah, again, this track temp is rather warm. It was 119 a little bit ago. It has actually gone up since 1 degree, 120 degrees. So again, this track is about as hot as iRacing can produce. I've seen it maybe 130 on rare occasions. Again, we're racing out of a May race date, which is why it's so toasty. And here's one. I guess we'll probably get it answered. I'll give a little hot take, Brad, and we'll get it answered, I'm sure, in Discord later. Why does the Xfinity series get the harder track conditions than the Cup series? Because did we not race like sunset night-ish, or like lights going down later in the afternoon in Cup?
Pretty sure we did. I was going to say, I don't really have an answer as to why that's the case.
Maybe Xfinity series couldn't. Maybe Zenobie didn't pay enough sponsorship to put the Musco lights on, so we had to do a day race. I bet that has to be it. It's the only plausible explanation.
I was gonna say, I think Al funneled some money into some hot dogs. He had to make that snack shack function this week because Zenobi demanded it. And from what we got told in the background, I mean, Zenobi's been trying for a couple of seasons now to get this Xfinity series on a broadcast. So, I mean, if he's willing to go through, I mean, unfortunately, the filter has to go through Al Corey first.
We didn't race night, but we did race more late afternoon conditions. But here at Xfinity, again, we are racing dead set middle of the afternoon. Of course, the ARCA series had to race middle of the afternoon because North Wilkesboro doesn't have lights, but that didn't stop us at Pocono from running a night race. Again, little laughs aside, but again, if you missed that Pocono Cup broadcast we did about 2 weeks ago or so on the channel, I highly recommend going back and watching at least the end of it. That race ended under darkness due to a session error and Pocono's lack there of stadium lighting. So having some good times. Obviously, we've been, this is our second full season covering Triple Bypass, and we're looking forward to a third season, Brad, as again, this league has become a new staple on the channel and things filling up here on the channel. Very busy week here if you're watching this live, and you can like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you've yet to do so.
Yeah, it's been a really, really fun week here on the channel. I think we only had one night this week that didn't have a broadcast, which was Monday night. So, and I mean, even then I thought about racing some Monday, so we could have had a broadcast. So it's been a really, really good week here for us. I'm kind of excited, with that being said, what the future of the channel is going to be with 2026. Of course, Corey, you and me always scheme the big plans in the background, and you know, we have Dirt who tells us when we're right and wrong and crazy or smart, and he kind of, you know, gut checks us, and he'll be with you Saturday night for the All-American. I will be off doing the 23 Hours of Zolder, the Race for Mental Health, the Jimmy Broadbent charity race. I will be commentating, 7 hours of the 23 hours of that race. So we'll be checking things out. Things will be fun this weekend all the way around, but we're about to hit 40 laps to go. Still no sign of anyone pitting. Jeremy Brown is in P5, getting ready to get chased down by Herzog. Brad Kress is in P3, and Nicholas Deal still hasn't passed him.
Okay. And I will say, Brad, Nerney in significant lap traffic right now. That is Ristow, that is Kane, that is Harcum. Because I was looking, and Brad Kress has since eaten a second out of the gap, but I think that was largely attested to the fact that Nerney had to run that suboptimal lane getting to the inside of the raceway. So we'll see what happens here, and if that trend continues, because obviously even for Nerney, 52 laps on these tires, everybody else pushing 90 lap tires, but let's see if he can stretch the legs back out here on everybody, because now sub 4 seconds. Let's not create drama. Of course, Kress is still at a significant disadvantage. Don't count out Caleb Brown. He's 2.5 seconds back. But Nerney in clean real estate, I imagine he'll be able to check out again.
Yeah, because here's the thing, too, with this traffic is that Caleb Brown has to get through all three of these cars as well. So it'll kind of be a situation of, you know, they fought Nerney hard. Will they fight Caleb Brown hard? It's kind of a, I don't know. Sometimes guys will fight the leader a bit harder than they fight P2, and it's not anything personal. It's just you don't want to go a lap down if you don't have to. So we'll see how that plays out here as he catches up. Nicholas Deal down the inside of Brad Kress here. Is he going to get this pass done? As Brad Kress really hit the cliff on those tires. He's 90 laps on the tires here. We'll pull up the stints again as Nicholas Deal gets a good deal going and gets up the inside. 90 laps for Brad Kress and Jeremy Brown and Al Corey on the tires here. I mean, they are absolutely gone. They are over 2 seconds a lap slower. It's like 2.3 seconds a lap slower right now than they were on their best times on fresh tires.
This is making me wish that I was racing here tonight, genuinely, because this is my cup of tea. A track, you know, a driver's track, and everyone's having to, you know, use that old adage of racing like there's an egg underneath the gas pedal to preserve and not get wheel spin, changing your lanes, finding grip where there is no grip. So this is just ultimately a driver's track, which some people love, a lot of people love, but there's honestly a lot of this Gen Z crowd that wishes that it was flat out and you didn't have to drive the thing. But we don't care about them here today. This is real man's racing, and I'm glad to be a part of it and enjoy this here. As you can see, the battle tracker Nerney has since pulled away. Again, it was in the mid 2s. Now he's pushing 3. So Nerney definitely in clean air, clean real estate, doing some good things.
And here is the other thing, I'll point out. This week it's North Wilkes, right? North Wilkesboro. Next week it's Dover.
That's a man's track, because you're high speed, walls on each side, a lot of banking, and no room to hide. So the end of this, and then we go to Phoenix, where Brad's favorite track. But I think if I remember correctly, that because I raced with them at Phoenix in one of their series, I think it was ARCA. I think they shut off the dog leg, so you have to actually stay on the proper racetrack. So that should be that should stay to your benefit here. This race chugging away, only about 10 minutes of racing, and it just makes you wonder. I mean, if we're not going to have, Brad, we're very likely not going to have a caution for a wreck, but the caution coming out for a self-spin, lack there of control, that becomes more increasingly higher every single lap. So I guess at this point, who wants it and who does it? How would Nerney feel about a caution? Does he think he can hang on to the lead on fresh tires, even playing field?
I mean, if I'm him, I want this thing to go to the end. I want nothing to do here. But, you've got guys approaching 100 laps on 100.
Oh! Commentator's curse. Sorry, Broseph. Nerney doesn't know my address, does he?
I know Corgi Airstrike Cord knows your address.
Yeah, courtesy of you.
No, not courtesy of me. I don't know how they got it. It wasn't me. On board with Herzog.
That's creepy. That's creepy and a little uncomfortable, to be honest with you. But anyways, yeah, a little... was that intentional?
Are we creating drama?
We did. I mean, you were talking about Taylor Swift earlier. Is that bad blood? He drove it in deep.
Listen, it's a good thing I like my friends canceled, is all I can say.
Yeah. And then some 41, I think he was in too deep. Or is that Adele? Or they both have a song called In Too Deep. It gets a little bit of both. But yeah, I mean, he just got into him and sent him around there. I mean, I guess if there's a little bit of... Oh, and then Al Corey with a little glancing blow. And I guess... Brad, do I rant or no? But we'll cut to live footage, and I'll rant later perhaps. But everybody pitting now, of course, 4 tires and fuel. This will make it sprints to the end.
And Zach Nerney is in. He did take 4 tires. He will come out retaining the lead. Here's his problem. Drum roll. I'm going to pull up the ticker. So this is the order as they come out. Michael Seymour waited a lap to pit, which is fine. Caleb Brown, Brad Kress, Nicholas Steele, Al Corey, your top 5. Jeremy Brown will be down a bit. He took his fast repair. He's showing for me in P8. That should become P7 once he gets past Seymour.
Brad Kress going to be outside of the front row. I mean, we imagine Nerney will get the jump, but, I mean, the best thing he can do is just run all out. I mean, only going to have 20-some-odd laps to go, so the tires don't have to last for long. I mean, you can run full bananas and, run the defensive high line to the best of your abilities, make him pass you the hard way. It's all you can really ask for.
56 laps led this race for Nerney. He was settled into a run and a half. 61 laps led for Brad Kress, but we know the rule. It doesn't matter. It only matters who leads lap 190, and they're extending this caution because I don't know if you saw that in the background, but over half of the field wasn't in the run. I don't know what it is. I feel like North Wilkesboro is like short an entire caution cycle compared to everyone else.
Maybe They might incidentally have this track on intermediate caution sequences, which are shorter, but either way, we get it all sorted here. I believe if there's waiver rounds, yeah, it seems like everyone does not know where they want to be. Catching up, letting the pace car go. We saw this a few times Sunday. The pace car will go out just for the backstretch. And then hard left into, oh no, we're extending it for more than one lap.
Looks like the lesson was learned from Sunday that you need to add at least 2 laps if you bring the pace car back out, because there were a couple times Sunday we saw that where it was pace car out, back in just for the front stretch, back out, back in for the front stretch. So looks like they added that through. There's our 1 to go signal here this time, and it does look like everyone is actually where they need to be. Al Corey coming up to get the outside of the second row. Nerney will restart to the inside here. This might be the most important restart of the race. Lap 167 to 190 coming up, and if he does it right, it's going to be a hard defense for 23 laps. Let's see what he does here. Nerney coming around to the Echo Park restart zone.
If Kress can stay to the outside, I think it's game over. Nerney needs the jump. Will he get it? Green flag in the air. Nerney breaks sideways. Will Kress stay to the outside? Yes, that was it. He had one job, and he did not do it. Nerney could not get up to speed. Kress, P1.
And Brad Kress now has to hold that P1 for the next 22 laps. Matt Harmon, Nicholas Deal battling it out. Harmon up the inside there will get his way up into P3. Now he's on the attack. Al Corey with a big old run down the inside. That kind of scared me. I thought the brake pedal quit working on that number 45.
Yeah, Al Corey with the Steph Curry went for deep there and drove it on in, and luckily was able to contain the vehicle there. Will clear Nicholas Deal. Again, Al Corey, basically a top 5 car. This track is his cup of tea. He's been good at every variant that he has run here this week. So up to P4, Matt Harmon in P3. I would say that 45 likely will probably even get on the podium here, but we'll see. A lot of racing left to be had. But ever since that caution, ever since that initial lap of the restart, Brad Kress already up a half a second. Again, Nerney could not get going on the restart, Brad. The only thing Nerney needed to do was clear so he could play defense, but he couldn't get going, and that mistake cost him any chance at the race.
Yeah, and we got to watch and see how that plays out, though, because 20 laps to go. I mean, it's not all for naught, and it's a case of, can Nerney catch back up? Can we hold on? Can Harmon pass Nerney? I mean, still some unanswered questions as we go through here. And Al Corey's starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Nicholas Deal. Herzog and Harcum passing each other here in the background. We saw Herzog have a bit of a love tap with the wall earlier there down the front stretch. I thought we were going to have another caution. Thankfully, he held on to it. Cameron Kane trying to rock the croc down the inside, and he's going to go hard on the brakes and get past the number 25, Aristo, who is down 2 laps, the only car down 2 laps here as we come through. Half a second still the gap up front. It doesn't seem like it's slowing anytime soon. Top 3 lap times. I mean, they're running virtually the same time here.
Yeah, and that shows that, if anything, that's going to be more frustrating for Nerney, knowing that, if I matched his lap times, I could have held him off. But again, you'll never know. Maybe another caution will come out and he'll get a chance to rack it and maybe do what Kress did and get that jump from the outside lane. But Harmon hanging on in third. Harmon, I thought, Al Corey has had a better run, a better speed all day. But thus far, Harmon doing a great job, and Harmon hanging on to that third spot has pulled a little bit of a gap, which I find to be impressive enough.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see here, Harmon pulling that gap through. Everyone's on even tires. Everyone's on the same lap tires at this point. So, I mean, it's not tire advantage. It's truly pace at this point. And I think for Al Corey, his pace is really in that mid to long run. I think the shorter runs are not his bread and butter as he goes. So we just got to kind of keep our eyes on that. I'm looking back behind as well at Jeremy Brown, who is trying to run a recovery drive at the moment. And he is going to try to get past Caleb Brown. But unfortunately for Jeremy Brown, I mean, this is probably not ideal for him for the points, because Brad Kress should get a good chunk of points coming through. And again, as a reminder, we'll pull up the points here on the screen now. 410 points, Jeremy Brown. 327, Brad Kress. This is going to give a good haul of points towards Brad Kress to try to help close that gap. And he'll have 2 races to go to try to overtake that gap. He's not a Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris in Formula One, and we're not running a playoff setup. So we'll just have to see how that goes and if he can get the advantage to get past.
Yeah, I think it would take a catastrophic run by Jeremy Brown, but of course this will take a little bit out of it. But beauty of the consistency points model, which, I mean, it's a beauty or it's a flaw depending on how manipulated you like your racing, is he's earned the ability to have, you know, a lackluster run or two and still be the champion. So, but, you know, brighten things off that have still have a little bit of time to be had, as again, Brad Kress up by now 7/10, starting to run a little bit more consistent, and Brad's led 74 of these laps. Nerney has led about 60 of them in second. So again, it's hard, you know, Brad. We always, based on the most recent NASCAR Cup Series situation, we talk about legitimacy and who should have won. It's kind of hard to answer that question. We know Brad is the faster car, but we know Nerney had the strategy on lockdown. So I guess, how do we know which car should have won this race?
I mean, you could make an argument for either, and I think at this point it's going to be who gets it in the end. But look at lap times. They were swinging Nerney's way. Now they've swung back to Brad Kress, 20.6 to a 20.7. So that 1/10 of a second has now flipped. Nerney's got 9 laps to close this gap down and try to prove that he's the better car of the two. And I'll tell you right now, it's going to be heartbreak for Nerney if he ends up in P2 here. Let's see, though, what happens for him as it goes. Again, you can argue either party. One of them could have won on strategy. One of them, you know, started on pole. I mean, clearly had some pace and felt comfortable. But, you know, again, is lady luck on your side or against you? And sometimes it just swings back.
Yeah, just that's, you know, how the cookie crumbles here, is as we are in, 7 laps to go here. We've had 6 cautions for 27 laps here, Brad. So all in all, a very green race here in a Whiplash SimCams race recap. 4 leaders, 4 lead changes. Brad Kress in the fastest lap, so obviously that puts the shoulda, woulda, coulda point into his territory here. But 5 laps here at North Wilkesboro. I always talk about Brad Kress as a short track extravaganza, is a short track extraordinaire, pardon me. So him winning this race, no surprise. But Al Corey, he's not going to get the podium too far back for 3rd, and if anything, he might lose 4th as Nicholas Deal closing in very quickly.
Yeah, looking at the laps between them, I mean, Nicholas Deal running a 10th and some change faster than Al Corey. But, I mean, Al's got the benefit of being the car ahead and holding that defense. And you can see he is parking the bus there as we go and cross into 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go now, actually. I mean, he's parked the bus right there and is holding on, doing exactly what he needs to do. And I think Nerney has fallen off a cliff with the tires and unfortunately is out of the running for the win here. Gap is now at a 2nd, but he's got a 2nd behind him, so he should comfortably have P2. I think Harmon should comfortably have P3. Will Al Corey finish P4? Will he finish P5? Well, we're going to find out here in about 3 laps.
Yeah, we'll find out in 3 laps now, coming to 2 here, as Brad Kress will take it to 2nd. 2 laps to go. Remember, if we make it to the white flag, we'll make it to the checker. So that is the important situation here, coming off turn number 2, down the back straightaway for the penultimate time. The gap is about 1 second. Nerney getting sideways in the background, but all for naught. Coming to the white, we'll take it. Brad Kress looking pretty.
Brad Kress here, final lap. He has led many laps here this race. Exact number is going to be 84. And, you know, I said it earlier about 20 laps ago. I said it doesn't matter who's leading on lap 170. It's all about who leads on lap 190. And, I mean, Brad Kress led on lap 1. He led the first 50 laps of this race, and he's going to be leading here at the checkered flag. He'll take it to the Snack Shack. He wins the Snack Shack 190 here, and Rafter will owe him a Costco hot dog.
Rounding out our podium, we got Nerney getting good woulda, coulda, shoulda night here, and well, race control ain't gonna like that one. But and then Harmon, again, we talked about Harmon needing a good run. and he gets himself on the podium here. So Al Corey, another top 5. Again, North Wilkesboro seeming to be his week, but here for our post-race show beginning, burning it down here on the front is Mr. Kress.
Yeah, Brad Kress going to burn things down as everyone comes in and goes through. And, well, as he burns it down, we'll pull up our race results here for the Rafter Snack Shack 190. And, well, I see Ben Harkham around backwards in the pit lane. Probably not ideal for him. Race results here as they stand unofficially. Brad Kress, P1, Nerney in P2, Harmon in P3, Al Corey in 4th, Nicholas Deal, Jeremy Brown, P5, 6, Caleb Brown, P7, Herzog P8, a lap down, Cameron Kane P9, and Ben Harkham finishing out our top 10 here. And Corey, I'll let you take the final 8.
We got Michael Seymour in 11th, Dan Williams in 12th, Donald Bristow in 13th, Matt Epting in 14th, and Austin Williams, our race sponsor, Dominic Zanobi in 16th, Adam Shaw and Naj, who didn't take to the grid, shoulder injury, couldn't drive this place with one hand. He's shotgun on the field. So we'll get situated here, start our post-race show, and do we have everybody? I guess is the $1 million question. We don't have Brad Kress yet. I'm sure he'll pop in momentarily. But we can start with second place, who is now here in the lounge. And, well, he's your boy. I'll let you have a word with him.
Zach Nerney.
I moved him at the same time you did, and we kicked him out.
A womp? Well, there's Zach. So, Zach, sir, hello. How was your race?
It was fantastic. I got the best news of the year, if not my life, right before the race. So
good, man. Glad to hear it. So let's talk about this final restart here. Well, I guess the final 2 race restarts. So you called the strategy absolutely picture perfect, I thought, around lap 100 when you pit in and nobody else did. You had the fresh tires, you pulled a 2-second lead, and then there was a caution.
yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. You started getting towards those 100 laps. I was just really hoping I could nail that restart. Really spun the tires, though.
Yeah, man. Do you think if you had some extra laps, you could have taken it back to Brad Kress and tried to pass him again?
No, I killed my tires trying to keep up with him. I had no short run speed here. Found that out in the first stage. I just killed my tires trying to keep up with Brad Kress there.
Well, man, it seems like you hard fought it there and you ended up in P2. And I got to ask the $1,001 question, I guess. How do you think you're going to do next week at Dover?
If it's anything like here, hopefully really good.
Awesome, man. Well, you're still chasing a win. I don't think you've gotten one yet, but you're not far off, it feels like. So maybe Dover can be your week. We'll see. But Zach, man, congrats on a good P2. And well, I'll catch up with you later, man.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. And we'll grab Brad Kress here. And, well, Mr. Corey Silva, you're with the race winner.
Brad, I mean, I always call you the short track extraordinaire. Whenever we go to one, I look at you as the car to beat, and you had the speed, but you almost lost it on the strategy call. Were you surprised to see the people pitting for tires on that caution, and what kept you on the racetrack for it?
Well, are you talking about the stage break?
I think it was the caution that Nerney pit on.
Yeah, that one I was kind of surprised that they pitted because we just had stopped the stage, I don't know, 20, 30 laps before that. And I assumed we were going to have another caution. And I was praying with about 50 to go that we were going to. And I was kind of starting to lose hope. But it worked out. Thank God.
Yeah, this place certainly, the tire wear was huge. You guys are dropping about a second and a half off, and obviously the hottest conditions I think you could expect, way different than the Cup race, 120 some odd degrees. You guys couldn't get the power down. How much fun was it just having to manhandle this heavy powered car around this place for 190 laps?
And I'm telling you, once it was slick on fresh tires, but when the tires wore out at the end of that long run, when we had the last caution, man, I was hanging on for dear life. I almost lost it once going into 3 because I went in and the back end just stepped out and it started sliding way up the track. But yeah, that's probably the slickest track, at North Wilkesboro that I've ever been on.
And you manhandle it like a boss. Get yourself in victory lane. Next week we head to Dover. How you feel heading into the Monster Mile?
I'm getting to where I'm more comfortable there. When I first got on here, it was real hard. It still is hard to save the right front. That place just chews up tires, and you have to be real careful. But I'm getting a little bit better at it, and I've always liked the track. It's just never really cared much for me, I guess.
Well, we'll see what you can do. We got that one covered on our schedule too. So congrats on getting it in victory lane, and we'll see if you can back it up next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
And then we'll head to number 3 on our podium, and that will be Matt Harmon with Brad.
Matt, man, good P3 coming through. Started in 8th. Very clearly had some pace in the car there, getting past Al. Talk me through your race.
Yeah, it was a good race. Didn't really have any speed there at the very first half, but after that last caution, was able to go in, get some tires, get the fuel load where I wanted it to, and was able to get through the turn a little bit better than what Al and I think Nicholas did, and get up there on the podium.
Yeah, man, it was a good race to kind of watch through there for you. Gotta ask, do you think there was anything left in the tank if we had had a few more laps where you could have got a little bit further forward and maybe try to get past Nerney?
I think we all, between Brad and Ernie and myself, we kind of evened out there at the very end. Weren't really gaining on anybody and wasn't losing either. So
Absolutely, man. And thinking about next week here in Xfinity is going to be Dover. How are you feeling about next week?
I think we can go out there and do something, maybe shoot for a top 10. Dover's not exactly my best track, but we'll go out there and give it our best.
Absolutely. Well, it was a good run to watch through, man. Congratulations on the P3, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank Brad. Thank Corey.
Yep.
All right. Well, Corey, I'm not used to being in the run here on this front end, but any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great race here, good race, a slick track, some strategy thrown in, and ultimately, again, our short track ace, Mr. Brad Kress, gets it. So congrats to him, and we'll see what they can do with the Monster Mile next week.
I think it'll be awesome to kind of see how that goes through. Again, big congratulations to Brad Kress. And, well, we're almost done with the busiest week, I feel like, this year here on the channel with the All-American coming up on Saturday. So be sure to tune in for that. But this is going to round out this broadcast here, Corey. So on behalf of one Mr. Corey Silva, my name is Brad. We've taken things start to finish. Be sure to join us for the next one. We'll take you start to finish yet again. Good night.
See ya.